Pius II. The man chosen to succeed Callistus III was the humanist, historian, statesman, and reformed rake Enea Silvio Piccolomini. Enea Silvius was born at Corsignano, near Siena, of poor but noble parents. He studied at the University of Siena, and later sat at the feet of Filelfo in Florence. Enea Silvius combined hard study with loose living. Though he took canon law and entered the ecclesiastical service, he had too much respect for holy orders to become a priest, living as he was. He served various princes of the church, including Capranica and Albergati. On a mission to Scotland, where his ship was threatened by a storm, Enea Silvius vowed to walk barefoot to the nearest shrine of Our Lady if a landfall was safely made. The nearest shrine was 10 miles away from the landfall, but Enea Silvius resolutely trudged barefoot through bleak Scottish snow to pay his debt. It cost him dearly, for he contracted gout, a disease which tormented him for the rest of his life. His conversion, however, did not yet take place. He joined the schismatic Council of Basel, and formed one of a rebellious and loose-living circle there. He wrote tracts against the Pope, and filthy prose and poetry, which would cause Pius II much bitter regret. Having a keen sense of the wind's direction, Enea abandoned the moribund Basel Council for the service, first of the Emperor Frederick III, then of the Pope. He served the Papacy well, taking a large part in the negotiations which led to the Concordat of Vienna. Callistus III made him cardinal in 1456, and in 1458, after a somewhat difficult conclave, Enea Silvius emerged as pope. He chose the name Pius II. Pius had already turned over a new leaf when he had become a priest. Now he strove to live up to his chosen name. He publicly retracted his youthful errors, and bade the Christian world to reject Aeneas, but accept Pius. As pope, he led a simple life, more like that of a monk than of a Renaissance prince. He loved nature, and whenever possible, he worked outdoors. He was accustomed to give audiences sitting under the chestnut trees or beside some splashing fountain. If the Humanists expected a return of the golden age of Nicholas V, they were disappointed. Pius did not altogether neglect the arts, but his main concern was to carry on the crusading policy of Callistus III. The necessity of a crusade was impressed upon him by the piteous complaints of princes driven from Greece and the eastern islands by Ottoman might. Pius called a congress of the powers to meet at Mantua in 1459, but the congress did little else than prove the Pope's zeal. Power politics, and narrow power politics at that, prevailed among the monarchs of Renaissance Europe. Pius enjoyed one great triumph when he succeeded in getting Louis XI of France to abrogate the pragmatic sanction of Bourges. Even this, however, was spoiled by future encroachments of the Spider King. Although he saw the need for a thoroughgoing reform, Pius undertook only partial reforms. He concentrated on the Crusade. He even wrote a letter to Sultan Muhammad II, urging him to become a Christian. No answer. At last, as if to shame the sluggard kings, Pius, old and sick, dragged himself to Ancona, where he had assembled a small crusading army. Fever struck him down, and on August 14th, 1464, he died on the shores of the Adriatic, looking towards the east he had so much desired to help. Pius II, 208th Pope. Christ our King, thy kingdom come.